Good morning and Happy New Year mornings with Luann and Tim on TV. Certainly hope that 2018 was awesome and that 2019 is going to be awesomer. Awesomer. That's going to be the word next year on LSSU's
Do not use this word anymore, lads. 2019.
I know.
Start using that in your checkbooks, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Do you write checks anymore?
No. I'm like, a checkbook? What?
It's true, right? We don't write checks anymore.
Ever.
Everything is all through online.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is kind of scary.
I use a check when I send like a present to my kids for their birthday or something like that. That's the only time I ever write a check.
You never sent me a check for Christmas or anything.
That's
I never got. You didn't even give me a card.
No,
but you brought baking in.
I brought some baking in.
And I gave you nothing but the cold.
Yes, okay, you're the best.
I know. It was thoughtful of me.
Yes, absolutely.
What'd you and Jim do on New Year's?
We stayed home and tried to order Chinese food, but waited too long. And so Jim made a casserole, which was awesome. And we watched a movie.
Which movie did you watch? You want to share that with me?
We watched the very latest Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yeah.
And was it enjoyable?
It was okay.
Okay, all right then.
It was all right.
I thought, did we do a show since I watched that movie Bird Box?
I don't know if we have.
I watched that movie Bird Box.
I did too.
What did you think?
Like prior. I thought...
A lot of suspension of disbelief, huh?
Yeah. You got to sort of just
this is a movie, and you don't have to really pretend that any of this could really happen because it's really not believable. But I'll tell you, There
were some moments though, like I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I would not watch it again.
I'm glad I didn't pay money in a movie theater to go and see it.
Yeah, but you know what? Sandra Bullock, I could watch her read the newspaper.
She really is great.
I love her.
And she, over 50, woman leading a movie. They're saying that this is pretty great stuff. Big stuff. And isn't that sad to say in this day and age? Yeah. That's still a big deal when a woman over 50 gets a lead role and carries a film. Mm-hmm. That's a big deal. Well,
later on today, I'm going to do a story in our newscast that talks about how still the parity is not equal, even at the highed levels of CEOs running companies in Canada. So,
see, Kathy Griffin exposed a lot of stuff about her previous gig when she used to do CNN with Anderson Cooper.
Right.
Was it CNN?
Yeah, CNN.
With Anderson Cooper. There was a story that she asked for more money at one point from...
Oh, really?
From the producer, the head of CNN, whatever his name is, I forget. Anyway, she asked for more money, and he was so incensed that she would dare ask for more money, he gave her a 30% pay cut.
Oh!
She never made the same as Anderson.
Oh,
I think she said she didn't even make... She was hoping that somebody was going to get there's Kathy right there. Whoever replaced, there was a female comic that there was talk that maybe she would get the second in command job with Anderson Cooper. She didn't get it, but she ended up being reduced to just doing a couple of spots. And Kathy was saying, well, I hope she got at least $150,000 because that's what I got for hosting the whole thing, kind of thing. Like she got nowhere. And she said, I know that sounds like a lot of money for one night, but when you look at how much money the other people the guys are making, it's not. So even there, now you tuned in, eh? To Anderson Cooper and Andy Cohen.
Andy Cohen. Good night. It was uncomfortable.
This is what I'm hearing.
It was so awful. Good. Well, like you said, you saw just a meme of...
They did shots.
They did some shots. So you don't know if that's real booze or not. But when I just tuned in for one break, because I couldn't handle it, Anderson Cooper looked silly.
He did, eh?
And Andy was just babbling like as if they were sitting in their backyard drinking beers or something. Yeah, I don't know. And then I guess there was this whole issue too. I was reading on Twitter this morning. Andy Cohen was all ticked off because the security people would not let him use an umbrella. So he got drenched. He says, I ruined my coat. And apparently it was a thing. It was part of the evening. And Anderson just ended up giggling at everything he said about the umbrella.
So it was just not...
No, it was...
Not clever, not funny banter. This is what I heard. I heard boring.
You know what? I think that, like, Anderson Cooper is awesome. I would watch...
As a newscaster.
Right. But he needs someone who understands that he's the straight person.
Yeah, he's the straight...
Do you know what?
Anderson Cooper's the straight man.
Yeah, really. But you know what I mean? Like, and they need and they're best friends apparently. It didn't. I don't find it went very well.
Wasn't compelling to.
No,
wasn't entertaining. Eh?
It was awkward.
You know
I was,
who else
like,
had a really
uncomfortable.
lousy New Year's Eve?
You?
Tiffany Haddish.
Oh, I hear she bombed.
Miami sold out New Year's Eve crowd. She admitted that she stayed up until 7 o'clock in the morning partying and drinking Ciroc vodka the night before. She was ill prepared for the set. She forgot material.
Oh my gosh.
She got flustered. She said, F it. I really wanted to talk about some stuff and I can't remember none of it. There's Tiffany right there. People started, then she got heckled.
Yeah.
She couldn't handle the heckling. Went downhill even worse. People started leaving. Then what did she do? She took out another bottle of vodka, drank it straight from the stage, and invited people up to tell jokes.
You're kidding me.
I am not kidding you.
Really? She's
How angry would you be if you went in Miami Beach for New Year's Eve?
Ooh, I'd be
and
mad.
you're going to see Tiffany Haddish, and she bombs so bad that she just gives up and invites people on stage to tell jokes.
I'm getting paid for this, but you guys come up and do my job for me.
Honestly, hard time for comics these days.
Oh, I'd say. Speaking of funny,
Yeah, what?
Kanye West
Oh, he's on it again, eh?
hinting that he might run for president.
Oh, come off it.
In 2024. And he says, quote, I'm quoting this, and I wrote it down because I don't want to make a mistake.
Okay, Lou.
Blacks are 90% Democrats. That sounds like control to me.
What?
Wait,
don't
I
understand.
think he forgot his pill. Like, seriously? What?
He's there.
Spent a whole...
Not 2020. Oh, 2020? 2020
No.
or 2024?
2024.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
no,
was,
Mike, it's not your fault. Mike's like, sorry, it's not your fault somebody else put the wrong meme up.
Yeah, that's all good.
Kanye.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, seriously?
He had another tweet storm, yeah, I heard.
Yeah, and just praised President Trump, and, you know...
Did you see? Okay, and Trump's been tweeting some really weird stuff,
Oh, boy.
The saddest thing that ever happened to him was being alone at the White House for Christmas. 'cause he
Right?
had nothing else to do.
Seriously. So I'm sitting here at the White House, he says, waiting for the Democrats to come calling.
They're not,
There's nothing else going
They're
on
not
for you?
coming. Honestly.
Oh, my word.
Saudi Arabia. Okay, so I haven't seen this Netflix show. It's called Patriot Act. Have you heard of this?
No.
Okay, me neither, really. Hassan Minhaj is the actor in it, I
Okay.
guess. And I don't know what it's about, but I'm assuming it's a comedy. I don't know, maybe not. But anyway, in one of the issues, they were critical of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's role in the killing of Jamal Khashoggi.
Yeah.
So the Saudis banned that episode. The Saudi government banned that episode from airing on Netflix in Saudi Arabia.
Really?
Can you
Man.
these countries are wild, man. Oh, there's
Like how?
that doesn't look like a comedy, does it? I don't know.
No.
I don't know what it's about, but I want to check it out now.
Yeah.
Banned by the country. Can you imagine if the U.S. banned everything that was detrimental about Donald Trump? There'd be nothing on television.
No, it would be radio.
Lady Gaga's in Vegas.
Yes.
She took it over. Apparently, it is amazing.
Really?
She's bringing down the house. She has 2 shows that she's doing. Now, this is kind of cool. You can choose to see Enigma, which is her great big flashy
monstrous,
show with all the space kind of very new age blue wigs and lots of metallic and funky. Or you can go and see the jazz and piano show.
Oh, I'd love to see both.
Oh, well, see now.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
So she's there, 74 shows. That's what she's booked for until November 2019. Okay, there's that must be from Enigma. Okay, and there's an open-ended. There's a chance she might do more. $100 million she got for this contract.
What?
$100 million. $100 million to do 74 shows.
You know what though? She busts it.
Celine Dion was there.
Yes.
Did you see the video of Celine Dion?
No.
Celine in the audience doing loving
Did
Lady
she?
Gaga screaming for her. Pictures backstage with her and Gaga together. Gaga saying, "Oh, you're amazing. I've always loved you, and you're so supportive, and you're so kind and so nice." So, lots of celebrities have been going to see Gaga. Mark Chinook from Sault Ste. Marie.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
George and Kathy's son. Mark is down there. Mark is also doing really well in Vegas.
Yeah, he's doing awesome.
Dark Mondays, Dark Mondays, whatever. I guess that a lot of the shows a lot of the big shows don't go on Mondays. So Mark started something called Dark Mondays, which is, if I'm not mistaken, I'd love to get Mark on the show. He was in town for George's birthday, but
too bad.
Holidays.
Yeah.
But I guess the idea is that he brings entertainers in and does stuff on the Monday nights when everybody else is dark. Anyway, what was my point about this? That
you were talking about
that Mark said that Gaga is now ruling Vegas. I read that.
Good for her, man. You know what? I feel like she's a really hard worker.
Yeah, and
So
very talented.
Yes.
Yeah,
She can really sing.
She can.
You know what? She can really sing.
That's the difference.
That's what
between
Tony
her.
Bennett said.
It's the difference between her and Madonna.
Yes.
She can really sing.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
she seems nicer too.
It's Wellness Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you survived the new year. Obviously, you did if you're watching us right now. And to help us continue to have a happy and healthy new year, we're talking to Janet Allen from Algoma Public Health. For those of you who might be considering quitting smoking, Janet's got some tips for us.
Awesome.
It's often a New Year's resolution, so I thought we'd talk about that a little bit this morning. And then Koach Katrina's back to talk about how to stay motivated in the new year and some of the stuff that she's got going on at her club.
Awesome.
And Luann has the news. So, it sounds like it's going to be a really fun Wednesday. Stay well, stay with us, and we'll be right back after this message from one of our fabulous sponsors on ONNtv. It's Mornings with Luann and Tim. We'll be right back. It's Wellness Wednesday, and this is Janet Allen from Algoma Public Health. Welcome to ONNtv.
Thank you for having me,
Your
Tim.
first appearance, Janet.
My first. Hopefully first of many.
You're no stranger to being on camera, though. You've done interviews for...
Over the years, yes I have. Yes I have.
How many years have you been nursing, Janet? Do you want to tell us?
About 32.
Amazing.
Yes.
And the focus you have at Algoma Public Health, a lot of the work you do is around smoking cessation. Is that right?
It is,
Okay.
yes, and very timely.
Well, now it's the new year.
Yes.
And a lot of people make resolutions about quitting smoking, right?
They do.
So, can you give us some advice? Anybody who's considering smoking or who's made that resolution, any advice for tips or people are always looking for an easier way to quit.
I know.
What do you have to say?
It's probably one of the hardest things that people will do. I think we all have to appreciate it's an addiction. Mm-hmm. The body is very accustomed to having nicotine, and I think that when people make that decision to make a quit attempt, they have to cut themselves some slack. Know that it's a process. It's very individualized, so there's no magic recipe. They have to come up with those strategies on their own,
right,
and persevere at it. There are slips along the way. Sometimes people may relapse and for a little bit of time, but you have to just keep continuing pushing through. And some of the key things that people find helpful is coming up with a plan ahead of time.
Right.
Doing a little bit of that homework, looking at why we smoke. Everybody smokes for different reasons. Yeah. It means a lot of different things to everybody. And so we have to consider those things. Triggers, our whole lives have been smoking. So the things that we do, whether it's our go-to for stress, if it's our socializing, we have to give some thought to that in advance so that we don't all of a sudden stumble when we run into those situations. So what's our plan of action when we get to those situations where we normally are smoking? So there's a lot of, some of that prep that people can do. When do they smoke? Kind of tracking when they have those cigarettes. People will choose to quit differently. Some people, they decide they want to go cold turkey. Mm-hmm. Other people, they decide they're going to cut back. depending on how heavy they're smoking. Other people might do things like make their home smoke free, decide they're not going to smoke in their car, so they plan those steps and strategies. So it's a very individualized plan that everybody tackles differently, and we need to appreciate that.
Can we talk a little bit about the drug itself, about nicotine? I've heard stories about how nicotine can compare to other drugs as far as its addictive qualities. Is that true, Jen?
Well, yes, they say that it's equally as addictive and hard to quit as drugs such as cocaine.
Isn't that amazing?
It is, and people have been doing it for a lot of people since they were teenagers.
True.
And so not only just the addictiveness, but
it's the habitual,
and practice of it, and how it's ingrained in people's lives.
Right.
It's the go-to, as I mentioned, for stress. It's the first thing they may do in the first 5 minutes when they wake up in the morning.
Right.
And so there's a lot to contend with.
Now, I don't know if we ever talked about this, but I did smoke for 27 years. I started at 15 and quit at 42. And I quit when I had a cold because I could never smoke when I had a cold.
Right.
I was sick. Well, it was more than a cold. I was quite sick, and so I quit smoking at that time because I knew. And now, tell me if I'm wrong. I hope I'm right. The nicotine stays in your system for about 7 days or so.
Mm-hmm.
After 7 days of not smoking, the nicotine should have worked itself out of your system.
Yes.
And at that point, you're dealing mostly with that habitual addiction, with the mental, with the emotional attachment, right?
Yes.
So my thing was, I'd been sick. My throat was a mess. I didn't want to smoke. And so I knew that the 7 days had gone by. And then I thought, well, now if it's just mind over matter, Murphy, come on. Mm-hmm. Mind over matter, you can do this. So then like you said, being an individual thing, for me, I could never smoke with dairy, Janet. I could never have like a glass of milk so when I wanted a cigarette, after the 7 days, I'd have like a yogurt, or I'd have a dish of ice cream.
Interesting.
Or I'd have some milk. Anything that would coat my mouth with a dairy product would make me not want to smoke. The other thing, tell me if this is true, the average craving lasts for about 10 minutes?
5 to 10 minutes,
5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I would think, if I can just get through this 10 minutes, I'll be okay till the next craving, and then I'll deal with that when it happens.
Right. And that speaks to the 4 Ds, which we often promote to smokers. So we'll talk about things like deep breathing, but also distraction, which you mentioned, delaying, because we know that craving in 5 to 10 minutes will, eventually move on. Right. And then drinking lots of water is another important. So we always talk about those 4 Ds, but you've talked about too. The
distraction.
Deep breathing, drinking water, and delaying.
Delaying,
yes.
Okay.
So you were doing 2 of those. You were distracting yourself, and you were also delaying to get through that time. But it speaks to how individualized. Yeah. So for somebody else, drinking dairy, would not be their thing.
No, of course not.
But it's whatever works for you.
Get creative.
Exactly.
Are these the kinds of things? Do you, at Algoma Public Health, do you actually run sort of cessation workshops, or do you do anything like that where people can come and ask you for help?
Actually, anybody that's interested in quitting smoking can call us. What we like to do is have a little conversation on the phone to find out. There are a lot of resources in the community and online to help people. So we like to kind of have a little conversation to see what best meets their needs. Because for some people, their lives are busy. They want to do it over the phone. They want to do it online by themselves. A lot of people will quit on their own without any help. There are some people that like to have a little bit more support. They almost like that quit coach to help walk that journey with them. So we kind of decide what's the best resources for them. Okay. There's a lot of healthcare professionals in the community, family health teams, Indigenous health access centers that will offer programs, as do us, that are the one-on-one kind of walking you through that journey. Some people find that nicotine replacement therapy is helpful for them.
Like there'll be like the patch or the gum,
things like that. So those programs, and ours included, offers those kind of supports. So we really like to get a feel for what the person's needs are and put them into the right resources that will assist. That will assist them.
Sure.
And so then we help them set up that plan. So certainly at Algoma Public Health, we do offer one-on-one services for people. They can call, book an appointment. We do have a little bit of a wait list.
942-4646?
Yes, that will put them through to someone that will kind of what we call triage them to see what best. Maybe it's not us that are the best resource for them. Maybe it's somewhere else, but we will help walk them through that. But if it is us, we do have, as I said, a clinic one-on-one
Yeah.
that individuals will be booked
And
into an appointment.
That's no charge, right?
Nope, there's
that's
no
free.
charge, and then we'll sit down with them. The idea is, though, that they're in the driver's seat.
Okay.
So we want to create a plan with them that incorporates their lifestyle, that meets their needs, that goes at things at the pace they want to go at, and creates that very individualized plan, and that is there for them. If they do have concerns with withdrawal and they want to incorporate things like the gum, the patch, we also have options for that as well. And so, yeah, we want to make it very individualized, and we want to give them the best chance for success.
Right, and remind them, don't quit quitting.
Don't quit quitting. Yes.
What is this? Now, Quit to Win.
Okay, Quit to Win is a Canadian Cancer Society contest that runs throughout the entire year. It's offered through Smokers Helpline. The website is there. They can also call the 1-800 number toll free. What you do is you register online. You quit for 1 month. They say there's a lot more success if you can make it through that first week.
Really?
And so you quit for 1 week. You're registered
Quit for 1 week.
Quit for 1 week in the month. So you it's the first week of the month, and then you're entered in for a draw for a prize for $500.
Wow.
And so we have had success. We had one individual from Sault Ste. Marie win before.
Yes.
And so it's a great opportunity. There is absolutely no cost. They too have some options for support. They can put you in touch with Smokers Helpline that has on the phone quit coaches with translations in all different languages, and they too will help you come up with a tailored plan. They also have a lot of online options if people like to busy away at the computer, that they can do some of that homework and create some of those strategies online.
And who doesn't need more money, by the way? Because when you quit smoking, a pack-a-day smoker spends an average of how much a year? Do you remember?
You know what? I can't even remember because
like
the prices with
$12.
taxes have changed, but it is expensive.
It's like a vacation.
Exactly.
All right.
Yes. Yeah.
Janet, thanks for being here.
I was very happy to be here, and
Happy
Tim,
New Year.
Thank you. Happy
We'll
New
see.
Year as well.
I want to have you back on the show at another point to talk about vaping and the laws around changing around flavored
goodness.
tobacco and stuff.
Yes,
Okay.
we'd love to come back.
If you want to quit smoking, and if that's on your to-do list for your New Year's resolution, it's Janet Allen, Algoma Public Health, 705-942-4646, or go online, Algoma Public Health. Thanks for being here.
Thanks,
We'll be
Tim.
right back with Luann after this. Don't go anywhere. Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
I did.
Really?
Not very much. I used to smoke OPs. My dad would.
I don't know what
give
that
me
is.
Other people's.
Oh!
You know when you're drinking. And,
Oh, I just kicked my microphone out.
Oh,
Keep
look
going.
at you.
Sorry.
Yeah, so when I'm, younger, drinking, and I'll take a puff. And
So
it's
like
stupid.
college days?
Yeah, college, and then I actually started to buy them, but a pack of cigarettes would last probably 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And now I smoke still when I'm imbibing. So stupid.
See,
Dumb.
Yeah, but it's the occasional. You're not addicted. It's
No,
something that you
I'm-
just
no.
pick up once in a while.
Yeah.
Like, okay. I never.
You?
It's 27 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, started in high school because I wanted to be cool.
Well, yeah,
Because
of
I was a
course.
skinny little kid and I wanted to fit in, so I thought I'd be
Yeah.
more grown up if I smoked. Mm-hmm. And I remember my father. I smoked De Mauriers. And
I
my
did too.
And my father was a smoker.
Ah.
And it was weird because I hated when he smoked in the house and stuff. And he used to smoke at the breakfast table.
Ew,
And I remember
yeah,
one time
my dad.
I remember telling him one time, I'm eating my cereal, don't smoke. And he got so angry. He said, this is my house and you don't tell me what I can do.
Oh, yeah.
But then when I started smoking and he caught me, like he found out, I guess my mother told him that she found some cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I came home and I remember I had a turntable and I went to put a record on. I lifted it up and there was a pack of De Mauriers on the turntable, which was my parents' way of saying, we know.
We know that you smoke.
Yeah. But no, 27 years. I only tried to quit
Wow.
once. And I quit once and it lasted for about 3 months at university. And then
Wow.
exams came along and I got stressed and I
Yeah.
started again. And that was it. I never tried to quit again until I quit and did.
Good for you.
Yeah.
27 years, that's way too long. Your lungs are just like, ah.
No, they're back again after
Yeah.
oh yes, because
Yeah, they
your
come
lungs
back. Yeah.
can regenerate themselves.
Yeah,
Yay!
absolutely. Please stay with us on TV Mornings with Luann and Tim, because we're doing news next. And welcome back to Mornings on TV with Luann and him.
The best parts of the show happen during the commercial breaks, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, none of it's clean, so we can't tell you and we can't share. Hey, Miley Cyrus got married. Did you know that?
Miley Cyrus got married? Yes.
It was like a big surprise.
Wasn't to me.
No?
Well, I read it on the news.
So
I mean, I
saying
didn't.
that, like, you
What was the guy's name?
were invited?
Hemsworth? Is he a Hemsworth?
Yeah. Liam?
How does
Not Liam. Is it Liam?
It is Liam. Coach Katrina's here, and she says it is
All right.
Liam Hemsworth.
And
I
they
thought
spent
so.
New Year's Eve, I'm just checking my microphone.
Oh.
They spent New Year's Eve with his family.
The Hemsworths.
Yeah, the Hemsworths.
Did they have a nice time?
Apparently they did.
That's good for them.
Yeah, awesome.
My New Year's was iffy. Is Bowser, are you watching? I can't talk about it if he's watching.
No, don't be talking about it. That's not very nice.
We ended up having a nice time together once everything else was done.
That happens sometimes New Year's Eve, right?
Well, you get your expectations up so high.
Well, that's right.
And you
then
think, and then it's really just another night. I mean, the calendar
it's-
changes, so what,
Yeah.
Hey, sad news.
Oh.
Jan Arden's mother passed away.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not so sad because
Right.
Jan's mother had been was dealing with Alzheimer's, as is my mother, and that's a long journey, man. I'll tell you. And sometimes you just kind of think, well,
Why is she?
wow, yeah. So, but she saw it coming. She's had some tweets days in advance
Yes.
saying, "Mom is getting ready to go."
Yeah.
She's packing it. She's packing it in.
She's packing her bags.
So there they are. Yeah, Jan did a lot of advocacy for Alzheimer's, a lot of awareness raising. My mother right now is in this really weird stage of her dementia where her sleep patterns are messed up.
Aww.
And I'll tell you, when somebody doesn't sleep for 48 hours and they already have dementia.
Well, you can imagine yourself not sleeping for 48 hours, or you have a couple of bad nights sleep in a row. You know how you get, right? You can imagine somebody who's already
and
at a disadvantage.
PSWs, personal support workers, are angels. They are angels. I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
This, you hear the stories about what's happening. Just with my mother's one of how many people,
Right, sure.
in that residence,
Yeah.
right? And she's keeping them. They got their hands full.
And you know what?
with my
They don't
mom.
make enough money.
No, they don't.
Really don't.
They don't. But they do their very, very best
Yes.
to treat my mother with dignity, and you just know that they love her.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard for them
Sure, to see
see
her like
her
that.
decline too.
Sure, absolutely.
So anyway, those of you who are going through the journey like Jan Arden did and like I am, we all know that we just gotta, the most important thing is to be there to make them feel secure and safe and loved and keep them as safe as we can.
Would you say that you sort of have to take them back to the basics because you keep them safe and warm and...
Well, I think it's more than the basics. I think it really is because now it's your part of the equation.
Right.
So a lot of it is not just knowing what to expect and what to be prepared for, but how you're going to handle it yourself.
Right.
Because for my mother has professionals looking after her. So I need to I have to trust that that's going to be looked after. And you do all you can. Like my sister Mary Lynn has the power of attorney for all the medical stuff.
Right.
She's amazing. She goes to all the family conferences and stuff, and she stays right on top of everything, and she knows all the medications and the charting and everything.
Good for her.
She's the sister who does all that stuff, which is exhausting for her too.
Totally.
So, and like this Christmas, here's me, 9 days now with the flu. I couldn't even see my mother. I still have her presents. I haven't brought her presents in yet. So it really is a team effort, and I think the self-care is huge. But as far as, like my mother's going to be to the point where she's not going to be able to toilet herself pretty soon. So it really is like having a child, right?
Oh, it is. It's interesting in the circle of life.
I never thought that I'd be comfortable, like, seeing my mother naked and stuff. Whatever.
You're taking care of her.
taking care of her. And boy, oh boy, it's interesting when you're the baby of the family, the boy who's been sort of never really dealt with any of that kind of stuff, and suddenly how you just transition to like, all right,
whatever.
Mom, take this off. We're gonna put this on, and oh well, there you go. And now I've seen it all.
Yeah.
And now I know from whence I came.
And you say thank you every day.
And I say thank you every day for my mommy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have a great guest coming up.
Katrina, Koach Katrina.
Woo-hoo.
Yeah, talk about high energy and positive attitude.
Oh my God.
And lots
Start
going
your
on.
New Year's off properly with Koach Katrina.
And that's coming up right after this break. And then what? Oh, and then we say
Then
goodbye.
we're going to say goodbye.
Okay, so we'll go to commercial now?
Yeah, let's go to commercial now.
Let's go to commercial now. And
Should
then
we go
we'll
to commercial now?
I have an idea.
Let's go to commercial.
I'm going to go to commercial and come back with Koach Katrina. So don't go anywhere because it's going to get better and better on ONNtv with ONNtv. Look who it is. It's Koach Katrina.
Hi.
Happy Wellness Wednesday.
Happy Wellness Wednesday.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Katrina, people oftentimes, we were talking to Janet about quitting smoking. People oftentimes say, it's the new year and this time I'm really gonna work out, I'm gonna get fit, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm gonna whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then they run out of steam.
Yeah.
How do we not run out of steam? Help me, help us.
Support.
Yeah?
Support. That's how we do it, because nobody can do it alone. And everybody is struggling in their own way with this, that, or the other thing, right? And so then we're just like alone in our houses just dealing with this. And yet, if we came to a space like the club and maybe we talked about stuff and maybe we worked out and realized that, you know, we're all going through similar struggles, that we can do it together. And the one way that I try to teach people that they can become stronger is to physically become stronger, because then when you physically become stronger and you work out, then that has so many mental health benefits and maybe makes these addictions or bad habits that we have a little bit easier to cope with. Or
We know
manage.
that's absolutely true. Because we are that holistic thing. I mean, we are made up of a mind, body, a soul, all of that stuff, right? And so you have to appreciate that health it's all interconnected.
All interconnected, absolutely.
Mental health, physical health. But here's my deal. Okay, so when I used to belong to a gym, it was the getting there that I could just, once I worked out, I always felt that elation, you know, and I'd always feel good after a workout. But getting in there was so hard.
So,
are there any tips? I mean, I know it sounds silly, but
well, okay,
how do I motivate myself to actually put on my workout clothes and go to the club?
A buddy.
A buddy,
because then you have somebody else trying to help keep you accountable. And often, I would say, well, as a fitness professional, but having a coach is also helpful, because then it takes the how out of it too. So it's, because some people dread that. They dread like going, like, oh, what am I going to do today? Or what are they doing? Or like this and that. Whereas I suggest, especially like for people who want to start out and they're nervous, grab a buddy and then come to the club, because you come in and I tell you what to do. There's no thinking. In 45 minutes, you're warmed up, you're worked out, you're cooled off, and you can go home. And because of the type of training that I do, it's something that you only need to do 3 times-ish a week to be able to see physical and mental health benefits.
See, and I kind of feel like if I went and hung with you for 45 minutes 3 times a week, I'd be happier anyway.
You'd be so... I I think I'd be happier. Yeah, and that's what it is. It's totally an exchange of energy. So as much as I'm pouring my support into my clients, they're supporting me back as well, because I'm not perfect and I struggle myself, and I think that's why people feel comfortable in the club, because I'm very open about things that I'm going through, and then they feel like they can come to me about it, and then we get through it together, and it's like it's.
Do you do individual stuff, or is it all group?
I do individual stuff.
Oh,
so
I did. Okay.
Yeah, so there is the option.
I'm asking good questions.
Yeah, you are. Thank you. So I can do personal training, which some people, maybe their schedule conflicts with maybe my group schedule. So their work hours, maybe they have to come at certain times. So essentially, I don't do anything else but this. So it's pretty good, because somebody can essentially tell me, when they want to train, and I'm there for them. So personal is a thing, and then what I'm most known for is my group training.
You look like you've been awake for a long time. What time do you get up in the morning, or is this special today?
This is special. I don't do anything before. Okay, so I said any time.
Pardon me.
Usually before 9 a.m. because I'm constantly working. I'm like a 9 a.m. to p.m. person.
Mm-hmm.
I made a joke on Instagram today how you're the only person I get up for before that. So, but again, an exchange of energy. There's been such great energy and positive feelings in here. So now I'm ready and good to go. So that's what people get when they come to the club. They're getting a workout, but they're also getting support from other people in their community.
Now the whole club idea that it's evolved into, which I love the fact that you just let this business go where it's leading you.
Yes.
So what kinds of group stuff are you doing now?
So right now, my most popular program is group training or circuit training. So essentially anybody who, for the most part, there's going to be some people who might have a few injuries or different barriers, and then we might have to do personal or small group training. However, most people, if you have, most people can come into my group training program. And so essentially there's a way that someone can sign up on the computer on MindBody. It's an app, or they can go to my website.
What's it called?
MindBody.
MindBody.
MindBody. A lot of fitness places in this suit actually use it to schedule classes.
Oh, cool.
So before a class happens, I'm able to go in and see, who's coming in. So then I'm able to say, okay, this is what we're going to do today. And then so that each group is specialized. So I know if it's a group who maybe has more barriers than others, or maybe they like doing weights, or maybe this group likes cardio a little bit more. Basically, I'm tailoring every single group session to who I have there, because I'm the only trainer.
Hey, look, there's a picture.
Yeah, that's Taylor.
I know Taylor.
Oh, you know? Yes, you do, from theater.
I do so.
That is Taylor, and those are
babies?
Those are babies, and so she's actually helping me out right now. Yes, and so sometimes the babies.
Do I get to come in there and lift kids up with my legs? Is that what you do there? That's the
exactly. Now that is her kid. Nora wouldn't just go up to anybody usually. And you know what? When they do, it's the cutest thing, because it gives you a chance to stop your exercise and smile and laugh. It doesn't have to be go drill sergeant. Work. It's meant to be light.
I can have fun when I work.
You can have fun, because we're trying to do this in the long term. We're not just trying to do a program for a month and then get results and then that's it. This is for life.
Wow.
Yes, and so this right here I'm showing, we're doing a push-up from a tire. I say we're going to do push-ups today, and maybe there's somebody who's like, I can't do a push-up. I'm like, I can't do a push-up. So we start from the wall. We do a wall push-up. Then maybe we go down to our knees and do it from an elevated surface. And then maybe we do it from our knees and the ground. And then eventually...
Do they jump through hoops there or what?
Oh, that's a battle rope there.
Yeah,
battle ropes.
What do you do with that?
You've seen those big, it's you do a half squat and the arms. You've never seen those battle ropes?
No, I think I need to come in and learn how to do that.
Oh my God, we have a lot of fun.
Is that upper arm stuff?
It's total core, arms, core, legs, everything. And so that's what my training is. We try to do mostly total body and HIIT training, high intensity interval training.
High intensity interval training.
Because this is known to be really good for fat burning, because not only are you going to be burning, in the moment when you're doing it, but your body for the next 48 hours is recovering from the intensity. And when I say high intensity, what's high intensity for me may be different for you, may be different for them. So like I said, a high intensity push-up for somebody might be a wall push-up, and that's okay. It's about effort, not perfection.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think that's that's got to be the mantra for the new year. It's about effort, not perfection.
Yeah, because you're gonna
That's
fail.
so good.
Nobody's gonna get it, and you know all those things like, oh, the gym, and you know it's gonna be packed in the new year. Yeah, like let's encourage that. And when it drops off, there's nothing wrong with those people, or you know they tried, and maybe they'll try again, and maybe they would try sooner if there was more people, you know, helping and supporting.
What she said. This is going to be the best new year.
I'm fired up. Yeah, I hope so.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you need some inspiration and you're looking to get fit in the new year, or just feel better about yourself, or even just get out there and socialize and be healthy.
Yeah.
This is the woman, and then that's the club, and it's on Queen Street in the Pall Mall. Koach Katrina, thanks for coming back again for Wellness Wednesday and kicking this new year off with great inspirational energy. We'll be back with Luann to say goodbye on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Stay with us.
And we certainly hope that we've inspired you somewhat today to stick to those New Year's resolutions, right? If you've made any. I didn't. Did you?
No, why bother?
Yeah, me too. Yeah. By tomorrow, it's over. Yeah, it's all done. Thanks so much for watching.
We'll see you tomorrow on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Have a great Wednesday.